The most disappointing things that has happened during my brief time in public life has been the return of anti-Semitism. Now, I would say that the school curriculum, when it comes to the history of the West and the history of Australia and like-minded states, is often quite scattered. I often wonder, how will students connect the various parts of relevant history to their own lives and experiences? And I thought we'd done a pretty good job in teaching the evils of anti-Semitism as that led up to the Second World War and the great crimes that were covered up by the Nazi regime. But over the last year or so, since October the 7th, in New South Wales in particular, you'd have to say, the return of anti-Semitism, which started with the disgusting celebrations at the Sydney Opera House on the days following the October 7 attack, through to just last week in Wallara, seeing cars torched, properties and cars vandalised with anti-Semitic graffiti, that the Australian Jewish community does live in great fear. And even talking to our colleague in the other house, Mr Lisa, and Mr Burns and others, it is clear that the Australian Jewish community also is in a state of disbelief that we have come full circle on some of the grotesque activities that were perpetrated in the lead up to the great conflict of the last century. I asked myself, why is that? And I think the answer is that the Australian governments across the board, state and federal, have been very weak in speaking out against this gross anti-Semitic behaviour, but also that Australia's recent foreign policy has been so weak on Israel that it has actually promoted some of this appalling behaviour.